The Luminescent Connection, Chapter 1, The Unexpected Assignment. Kevin Marshall stared at the notification glowing on his tablet. A Orin Exchange researcher host assignment confirmed. His fingers drummed against his desk in the cramped research lab at Stanford's Xenobiology department. The message included basic details about his impending guest, Aya, a level 3 xenobiologist. "You actually agreed to host one?" Dr. Carson's voice startled him from the doorway. Bold move for someone who barely leaves the lab. The department had insisted Kevin take the assignment, claiming it would be good for interdepartmental relations and perhaps his social life. Dr. Carson smirked. "When is she arriving?" The lab's overhead lights flickered as a low hum vibrated through the building. Kevin checked his watch, feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. He hurried to the designated arrival zone behind the xenobiology building, straightening his rumpled lab coat. A swirling vortex of blue and white energy illuminated the courtyard, and as it dissipated, a tall, feminine figure emerged. Kevin's breath caught in his throat. The Orin stood nearly 6 feet tall, her turquoise skin emanating a subtle bioluminescent glow that shifted with her movements. Massive silver eyes dominated her delicate features, reflecting the evening light like mirrors. Despite her alien appearance, there was something graceful, almost ethereal about her. "Greetings," she said, her voice carrying a musical quality. "I am Aya, third-level researcher of comparative xenobiology. You must be Dr. Kevin Marshall." "Just Kevin is fine," he replied, extending his hand awkwardly before retracting it, unsure of proper Orin etiquette. Aya tilted her head, studying his gesture. In one fluid motion, she reached out and grasped his hand. Her skin was surprisingly warm, though, sending a slight tingling sensation through him. "Fascinating," she remarked, pulling out a small device and tapping rapidly. "Human greeting customs involve physical contact, notable variance in electrical conductivity between our species." Kevin couldn't help but smile. "Are you taking notes?" "Always," she replied, meeting his gaze directly. "Your research on cross-species cellular regeneration is quite impressive. I look forward to our academic exchange." The walk to his apartment was filled with Aya's constant observations. She documented everything from the way leaves moved in the wind to the sound of passing cars. Her genuine fascination with the mundane aspects of Earth life was oddly endearing. Kevin's apartment was modest but neat, dominated by books and research equipment. "It's not much, but there's a spare room perfect for my observational equipment," he said, gesturing around. Aya moved through the space, her skin pulsing with subtle patterns of light. "Your dwelling contains an impressive collection of knowledge storage devices." "You mean books?" Kevin chuckled. "Yes, physical information repositories," she replied, running her fingers along the spines. "We abandoned such methods centuries ago, but I find them charming." Over the next few weeks, Kevin found himself the subject of intense study. Aya documented his morning routine, his work habits, and even the way he prepared meals. Her questions were endless and often amusingly direct. "Why do you produce that rhythmic vocalization when experiencing amusement?" she asked one evening after he laughed at her research paper's particularly absurd conclusion. "You mean laughing?" Kevin set down his tablet. "It's an involuntary expression of joy or humor." "Fascinating," she typed on her device. "And the physical contact humans frequently engage in, these hugs and handshakes, what purpose do they serve?" "Social bonding, mostly. Humans are very tactile creatures." Aya's skin rippled with patterns he was beginning to recognize as indicating interest. "Our physical contact is highly regulated. We require specific emotional and environmental conditions for any intimate interaction." "Really?" Kevin tried to keep his tone professional, despite his curiosity. That must make relationships complicated." "We don't form relationships as humans do," she said, settling beside him on the couch, closer than usual. "Our reproduction is a purely biological function triggered only under precise circumstances." Kevin became acutely aware of her proximity, the subtle glow of her skin casting shadows on the wall. "That sounds very efficient, yet arguably less satisfying." Aya's silver eyes studied his face. "Human pair bonding seems far more complex, but also more fulfilling. Your species integrates emotional and physical intimacy in fascinating ways." The conversation was veering into dangerous territory. Kevin cleared his throat. "It's getting late. I should probably—" "How does it feel?" Aya's question stopped him mid-rise. "Human attraction. physical desire. These concepts are foreign to my species, yet I find myself curious. Kevin's heart raced. I'm not sure this is appropriate. This is not mere scientific inquiry, Kevin.